Hey there, Bomb Squad. What's up? It's episode 20. It's a Thursday show on a Monday. It's
What?
May 21st. Monday, May 21st,
Yeah,
but we got a Thursday show for you. Big Tones, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm on the last day of my 3-day uh Thursday show on a Monday.
Yeah.
Everything's all
We're gonna be by
crisscross
the
ass
time Wednesday comes
backwards.
around. I think it's fucking like next week. But to remind you what a Thursday show is, so it's new. So we had the housekeeping announcement last week or on the Saturday show. What we're doing, we added a new kind of I don't want to say segment, little part of the show. So instead of baseball, we're going to be talking flicks. It's the new thing that we're going to do. And we gave each other movies to watch on Saturday, and we were supposed to give ourselves till Thursday to watch it, but Tones' work schedule goes all fucking batshit crazy, so we have to do it today. So we had to watch our movies yesterday, but it was totally worth it because the movie you gave was awesome. So then after talking flicks, we move into our world famous segments, and then we wrap it up with a classic 4-pack of questions. But first, we got some news.
Is it good news or bad news?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Tones.
Not again.
Yeah, it's bad. We're real borderline on these bad news stories too. Of like, what's the line to cross with, over the line,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But here's the story. Popped open Twitter. This, bad news right in my face. So, a cougar kills a cyclist. One man killed and another hospitalized after they were attacked by a cougar while riding their mountain bike Saturday morning in the woods northeast of Snoqualmie. Said the King County Sheriff's Office. It's up in Washington State near Seattle.
Okay.
This was just the second fatal cougar attack in the state in the last 94 years, according to the state's Department of Fish and Wildlife. So what do you got on cougar attacks?
I mean, obviously, you never want to see that. You never want to see someone get attacked by a cougar.
Can't laugh at this.
But like, if there's only, they said this is the second one in the last 94 years.
Yeah, it's really bad luck.
I was gonna say you're kind of doing something wrong. Like, you shouldn't be riding your bike somewhere where there's a possibility of a cougar attack.
Yeah, so the guy who survived said, like, the way that he described it, I don't have the quote, but basically he pulled like this is very bad thing of me to say, but he kind of like betrayed his friend a little bit.
Oh, no.
So like first the cougar showed his face and they like freaked, ran away, and then they're talking about how wild that was, that they just saw a fucking cougar, and the cougar came out of nowhere again and fucking jumped on his fucking friend, started doing the thing where like he bites into the neck and starts ripping, and then his buddy ran away. And once the cougar noticed that his buddy ran away, he just went to town on the guy he got and like dragged him into his cougar den. They found the bastard though with dogs, and they put him down. So they got the cougar.
Okay, they got the cougar. I mean, that's a tough spot. What are you gonna fight the cougar? You're not gonna fight the cougar.
Nah, I don't. I really don't know myself in those situations. I like to think I do, but I'd probably run too.
I mean, the way I see it is if he bites into this guy's neck, like even if I do fight off the cougar, we're in the middle of the fucking wilderness. This guy's gonna bleed out. Like, unfortunately, that's just like how it is. So you know what? Like, thanks for giving yourself up, sacrificing. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a wild way to go. I mean, it's not like getting sucked out of an airplane, but it's a terrible way to go. So thoughts and prayers to the victim of the cougar. So
what about the cougar's family? You ever think about that?
Well, the cougar shouldn't have been being a dick. You can't just be going out and murdering people on mountain bikes.
That's fair.
They should know better. It's been 94 years. There's a reason. That cougar must have been like starving or pissed or a combination of both.
The cougars broke the armistice between the humans and the cougars.
Yep. But they found him up in a tree later with dogs, and they fucking euthanized the shit out of it. So he's dead.
Okay.
So justice at the end of a bad news story. So moving on from our bad news, we got our newest thing. It's Talking Flicks. All right, so we had homework. So we each gave each other movies to watch. So I gave Tones The Exorcist 3, and then he gave me Lobster. I'm going to go first. So I watched Lobster last night.
Okay.
It was fantastic.
Right?
It was fantastic. I really was not expecting it to be fantastic. I thought it was going to be fucking weird, and it was. It was very weird. And I do like movies like that where like what's it called, like a dystopian civilization where it's like way futuristic, and like you can't really predict the future, obviously. So things like this could happen. It's like Mad Max, like there's a nuclear attack, and then all of a sudden it's just all gasoline and bullets is all you need for that life. This one is just you go to this place and you got to find a significant other during your time in the camp, and if you don't get it, then you have to turn into the animal that you chose in the beginning, And he chose the lobster because they have long lifestyles and stuff, which is funny. Like one guy blew him up. He's like, no, it's fucking stupid because you're going to get caught and you get boiled alive in the most painful death of all time.
Yeah.
He was like, oh.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, but it turned out to be great. It turned out to be a very romantic tale that I didn't expect.
A surprisingly romantic. Yeah, no, it was it's just I don't know, I'm drawing a blank right now.
It's just like a very out there plot.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's kind of like a quirky, like kind of the way it's shot too. I like the way it's shot, how it's it's always kind of wet where they are, and it's like green and gray at the same time. It's just kind of I mean, the things that I took away with it was just kind of how it kind of applies to our society without us really even.
It does.
It just kind of gives out that vibe that we have to conform to society.
Yeah, like if you don't get married, then you're going to be like an outcast, and you're kind of a weirdo, so you got to turn into an animal.
But even exactly. But even if you look like at in the hotel, the resort they're at, they all wore the same clothes, they all ate at the same times. If you found a partner and things weren't working out, they give you a kid. So that always fixes everything. Like that's what they tell people. Like, here, just take a kid, that'll fix it. Another thing I thought was kind of weird was like how everyone had a defining characteristic. Like the one guy, like he had the limp. That was his defining characteristic.
So he's got to find somebody else with a limp, sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
one chick has like random nosebleeds. So there's one guy who's desperate because there's gonna be spoilers on this, folks. So if you don't want to have spoilers, I suggest you fast forward now. But there's one guy who's just like he really, really does not want to become an animal. He's kind of a douchebag, and he sees this girl who has random nosebleeds. So like, when he realized that like they really didn't have anything in common and his time was running out, when she wasn't looking, he just bashed his face into something until his nose would bleed. And then he passed it off like he gets random nosebleeds. And then the protagonist ends up totally ratting him out. Just totally fucking rats him out.
But and then even also like there's a scene in the beginning when they're asking like, oh, what's your sexual preference? And he wanted like the option for bi, but they're like, oh no, it's got to be this or this. Like,
no, they were like the bisexual option expired a few months ago. Like, like we used to offer that, but we no longer offer it anymore, sort of thing. And it's like, all right. But it's highly recommended. We have a scale to judge these, so it's like a Rotten Tomato thing, but we're going to keep it related to the pod. So we're going to give a scale of 1 to 10 sticks of dynamite.
Before we give the scores, I want to get your take. What did you think happened at the end? Because the ending was kind of left it out there. They didn't really exactly say.
So I read into it, like because she was looking weird at the table. So basically at the end, because she gets blinded, because I can't explain like to the whole plot of like what happened up to this point, but basically for him to be compatible with this girl that he's madly in love with, who's been blinded by a backstabber, he has to be blind too. And he realizes that at the end. And then he goes into the bathroom with the knife, and I literally couldn't fucking watch it. Like, I had my hat over my eyes. I've never had to do that. I've never had to do that in a movie in like fucking forever, since I was like 6, like holding pillows over your face. But I think he actually did cut his eyes out or blinded himself.
You think he did?
Because there was nothing I could find that said like she wasn't blind this entire time and like they fucked him over.
Well, no, I didn't even mean like that. I just mean like we never actually see if he actually does blind himself. Like, what if he just decides it's not worth it and he runs away? Or like it's kind of open for interpretation. Or what if he stabs himself too hard and he bleeds out on the bathroom floor? It kind of doesn't. It just ends with her sitting there at the table, just kind of looking off,
just waiting for him to come back blind.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think the whole point of it was turned into like the power of love. Shout out Huey Lewis and the news. That like, he's gonna go through these extreme great lengths to make sure that he can be with the woman that he wants to be with. And for that's what I was saying. It turned out to be a great romantic tale. Got a little graphic there at the end, but overall, I give it a 8.9 sticks of dynamite.
That's good.
Which is good. I don't want to like give it a 10 right off the bat.
Right.
Then all of a sudden the Lobster's gonna be the best movie I've ever seen, which is not, but it's great. So 8.9 sticks of dynamite. So you had Exorcist 3 to watch. And I've heard that you've since rewatched it twice because you were so fascinated by it. So please tell us what you think.
Yeah, no, it was a mind fuck. Just the whole battle between good and evil kind of going on, just the way. See, with the Lobster, I was amazed with how it was shot. With this, I was amazed with the sounds, like the voices they would use.
Yeah,
like the scenes in like the padded room.
Yeah,
with, the cop, which George C. Scott, shout out. That's a man's man.
Yeah.
He's just like, I've never seen him in anything.
Yeah.
He's just like that. He's like
the grandfather in the movie Angus, which is a classic.
Okay.
90s.
But he's just like the epitome of a man from like the 60s. Like, I don't know.
I don't got any fucking time for this possession. Yeah. I'm just trying to solve some murders.
He was just like yelling at everybody. He was like yelling at the nurses
and just to set the scene for everybody, because most people haven't seen it. So, like, if you've seen the original Exorcist, at the end, you know that the devil that's possessing Regan jumps out and goes into Father Karras, and then he jumps out the window to kill himself and the demon. So what happened was, because he didn't die all the way, like he was bleeding out at the bottom of the stairs at the end of that movie. So the demon that was possessing him and Regan, he's like the master, and like he said in like a million times in the first one, like he's in here with us, or sort of thing. Like there's multiple of them. So he slipped out and put in the Gemini, who's the demon from this one, and like they used bodies as pods. So the Gemini had to work forever to like restore the brain while Karras is buried. And Karras, in turn, after he fixed him, was in hell. Like he didn't get to go to heaven because Gemini was in there. And this guy who plays the Gemini in the cell is one of the scariest fucking. He's the guy who voices Chucky, Brad Dourif. Yeah. Oh my God, he's so fucking scary.
Yeah, like those scenes in the cell were just insane. Like just the expressions on his faces and the way they would change his voice, how it would go from like deep to like regular to back to, you know, Father Karras, and then like demonic, and he's screaming. It's just all over the place. It was just a wild movie.
So that settles that too. If you get killed by somebody who's possessed, like you go to hell. Pretty much, your soul belongs to the demon.
I guess so. It's like because I don't know. He just kind of rips you out. It's like, all right, you're going down there. I'm taking your spot. Next man up.
Yep,
kind of thing.
I'll use you if I need you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because I know you did a little bit of research on this. Did you figure out what the significance of the rose was in all this? Because they keep in the beginning, and the first things in the movie they say is like, I have a dream of a rose and falling down a flight of stairs. And throughout the movie, at the different murder scenes and stuff, you'll see roses.
So there. So the guy who's walking, that's Father Karras. That's like him in dream state, like even because he's possessed, but he can still have like kind of dreams. And like he walks by the black kid who he ends up killing, the Gemini kills.
Okay.
And the rose's significance, I believe, because the devil that he saw, the master demon, has tattoos all over himself, and like a lot of them are roses. Okay. And I think it's like, I dream of roses in that sense, where he's dreaming of like the fucking demon that's possessing him. And then he's also dreaming of the kid that that he just killed, even though he didn't know it.
Yeah.
But he did, because the Gemini killed him.
Okay. So how do you know this what the roses is? That in the book, or?
Yeah, it's in. I can't say that with 100% certainty. I'm just kind of trying to freeball it.
Yeah,
but it definitely means something. But all I know is that's Father Karras's voice in the opening scene of him walking through the streets and then seeing the black kid who ends up being the first victim of the Gemini since he returns. So it's definitely something that has to do with Father Karras.
Okay, all right. And then another thing was the doctor. Shout out. He's actually a guy from he's from Walking Dead. He's an actor.
Yeah.
He's Herschel. Yeah, Herschel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just like
young Herschel.
He was just like a weird, like everything he did was just weird. Like the way he smoked his cigarettes, it looked like he was like rolling up a booger in between his fingers. He was just constantly didn't have a cigarette sort of thing.
Constantly
chain smoking. And if you look at his office, there's all these weird pictures on the wall. And he had pictures of like naked girls with their titties out like on the wall, like all this, like that should not be in a doctor's office.
So the Gemini tricked him. So the Gemini got in his brain and fooled him. Like Gemini tells you everything that happens, and he's like, because he's the one who lets him out to go possess the senile people to go do his killings, because he can't get out of the padded wall without like somebody letting him out.
Right.
So he tried to trick like the workers, and he was the most like, I guess, gullible. And like he was promised something like, you know, eternal life, and he like bought it, and he's superstitious or something like that. Like, it's eternal life through like hell, and you get to be one of us demons sort of thing. And he bought it. And then like after he died, and he's just like, he's an idiot. I got him fucking good. He is going to hell, and he's going to hate it sort of thing. But yeah, that was the deal with him.
Okay. And one other scene, this was probably my favorite, like the creepiest scene, was when he goes, I keep forgetting the cop's name. When the cop goes to visit like the head priest of the diocese or whatever, and he's in his office, and then like, you know, the big grandfather clock stops ticking.
Yep.
And then the doors are kind of open, and there's a breeze. How is the priest so calm during all of this? Like he's just
I think it happens all the time. Like, and he just like knows it, and he's just like terrified. It's either that or he just doesn't see it, and it's in the cop's brain.
Right. But yeah, that scene was freaky, because if you see in the beginning, there's like the statue they show in the front of like the monk. And then, like, when he comes back out, the statue's gone. Like, oh shit, where's the statue? You see him standing around the corner with like demonic
like
face and holding a knife. Yeah, that was another thing. All the statues, all the different like the fucked up faces they had on them. That was really creepy.
Yeah, that was just. I think that was just the demon, the Gemini, fucking with him because he knows he's like trying to like solve his case and stuff like that. And he's just like, whenever the clock stops, that's like the Exorcist way of showing you that like there's something up. There's like a demon in the house.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, because that's like low key one of my biggest fears is like being in a room with like a statue or a painting that just like turns and looks at me.
Yeah,
like I'm just like, what do you do at that point if a statue just turns and looks?
That's one of your fears. This movie's not for you.
Yeah, for sure.
I love right when he finished it. I was like, "What'd you think?" And he's just like, "That was so unsettling."
Yeah, like the whole like because there was so many scenes with so much like kind of creepy buildup, and there was like throughout the movie you hear like little like kind of like Latin demonic whispers going on, like,
and that's what I told you too. Like the thing about this movie, it's different. It's like 7 because like in like it's even better than 7 because there's no music really in it at all, and there's no like jump scares at all. There's like maybe a couple, but like it's just an unsettling movie. Like you're always expecting something to pop up and scare the shit out of you, but like it doesn't really happen. It's just really like this is fucked up.
It just kind of all builds to the end to the one big like between him having to like go home and save his daughter and then back to the like that whole build up to the end is wild.
It's a crazy movie. I really suggest to all of Bomb Squad to watch both of these movies. But I mean, the fact that we both watched Exorcist 3 twice in consecutive days just like goes to show how like that movie fucks with your brain.
Yeah.
But all right, so we got to move off that topic.
Yeah, so I'll rate it. I give it 8.4 sticks of dynamite.
Love it. And I think I told you my Rotten Tomatoes score was 80% or something.
Oh, like okay.
Yeah. Like I had it around there. Yeah. Which is good because like the Rotten Tomato score is like a 56. I think everybody wrote it off because they just looked at it as like the third sequel to like, this second one was so bad. So nobody even bothered seeing it. They just gave it a score and walked away. So we got to assign each other new homework. So movies to see. We have a long time to see these ones. So we have until next Thursday. So what's the movie you're giving me for assignment?
I'm going to stick with Colin Farrell. I'm going to give you In Bruges or In Bruges. I don't know how it's Bruges.
Okay. It's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure. It's some kind of, I don't know, it's like French, Danish, I don't know, European shit. So I don't know how it's pronounced exactly, but In Bruges.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Colin Farrell. He's like kind of like a hitman, and he's like in that town to kind of lay low after a job, and he just has to be there for a couple of days, and some shit starts going down, and it's a good movie. It's kind of like a dark comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Lobster was listed as dark comedy. Nothing funny about it. But nonetheless, I loved it. All right, so yeah, I'll watch that. Just make sure you text me the name of it because I don't speak French, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, whatever. You're gonna like the one that I'm giving you. So you got to watch Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, you son of a bitch! All right,
all right. You won Best Picture, man. It's a good movie.
Nah, listen, I'm not. I like good cinema.
Yeah, gay movies like that have come after that are the ones you don't want to see if you don't want to see gay sex. And this is barely any of that. This is just like it's a gay movie, but it's nothing compared to what's come after it.
This pun intended. This was like kind of like cinema kind of dipping their toe into the whole like, hey, this is gay.
Yeah, let's see how people react to it. And then it won Best Picture, and then like Call Me by Your Name, which I love, but I could see as a straight person, you're gonna be like, this is gross.
A lot of butt stuff.
Just a lot, like I don't know. Yeah. a lot of gross stuff if you're not into gay stuff. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I probably will end up having you watch that movie one day. We'll see how Brokeback Mountain goes. All right, so we have that to watch until next Thursday.
This might just like degenerate into us like just making each other watch like
movies that we really don't want to see.
Like porn. Just like you watch straight porn, I watch gay porn.
It's such a win for me. Oh man. All right, so we're moving on to our next question. We have 4 total questions, so this is the third. So, Tones, what's the worst movie you've ever fucking seen?
Osmosis Jones.
What? You don't like Osmosis Jones?
That movie was awful.
I love the movie.
I went to go see it in the theaters when I was a kid. That was the first time I've ever seen anything, and I just like left it being like, that was awful.
Oh, you probably just didn't get it. I still think to this day, like I like look at the way that my body works internally as like that cartoon. Like if you get like a disease, it's that guy who comes and just like touches organs, and they turn to like stone. You have to have your T cells like after them. I don't know.
I watched it the one time and I was like, this is fucking stupid. And I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
I gotcha. Mine is actually probably a critically acclaimed movie, but I hate it for different reasons. Is Seabiscuit. I hate Seabiscuit.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was a good movie anyway, but
I was underwhelmed when I saw it. It was like it was an okay movie, but for it to be up for all these awards and shit, I was just like, no,
no.
I didn't see it.
But the whole thing behind it was I was with my grandfather, and he was like a huge horror movie guy, and so was I. And he was like, we had like a weekend together, and he's like, let's go to the movies. And Freddy versus Jason was out. So I was like, he's like old enough where I could be like, let's go see Freddy versus Jason. Like he didn't know like what rated R really was, sort of thing, you know? So he's like, all right, that sounds cool. Like I love Freddy Krueger, like in Friday the 13th. That sounds like a cool movie. I was like, I don't know when that movie came out. I could look it up, but I was a young kid when that came out. No big, because I ended up seeing it down the road. It's a very, very not, that would have been the worst movie to see with my grandfather. Graphic sex scenes in that fucking movie. But we get in the car. The only reason I really want to see is just so I can brag to my friends that I saw Freddy versus Jason, which is like a rated R movie sort of thing. Like that was the cool thing to do at the time. Right, like, oh, you do this week? I saw Freddy versus Jason. What? Isn't that movie rated R? Yeah. It's my grandpa. He doesn't really care.
No big deal.
No big deal. But we got to the ticket booth, and he's like, 2 for Freddy versus Jason. And the woman who's giving out the tickets, she's like, are you aware that this movie is very inappropriate? And he's like, oh. Well, I think we should see something else, Tom. I was like, what? Like, no, we got to see Freddy versus Jason. I've been dying to see it. And he's like, how bad is it? And she's like, it's pretty bad. And then he's like, all right, we got to see something else. And I was like, fuck. And then like ended up going to see Seabiscuit. And I went in there just like, this fucking movie, like I'm gonna hate this shit.
You knew from the
I was a pouty little bitch. I don't even remember what it's about. Remember a horse blind or something? I don't know. Running in the dark. I fucking don't remember. I was just sitting there so fucking pissed that I wasn't seeing Freddy versus Jason. I told everybody I was going to see Freddy versus Jason. I was going to have to come report back. I saw Seabiscuit instead. But
maybe you just convinced everyone that the plot to Freddy versus Jason was a plot of Seabiscuit.
Turns out Freddy Krueger is a blind horse, and Jason's the jockey.
What a narc that.
No, because when you see a movie like that, people are just like, who won? So I don't know. Who did win?
I think they had a sequel. I think Jason won, but then like you see Freddy kind of like stick his hand up at the end, kind of like in Family Guy whenever they have the chicken fights. Like you think the chicken's
it's a stupid fight. They're both dead, so like they'll resurrect every time, sort of thing. So
that doesn't make sense, but
stupid movie. All right. Moving to question 4, wrapping up talking flicks. So, Tones, what's your favorite documentary of all time?
So I had a couple. I couldn't pick one, so I'm just going to kind of give them all. Room 237, the one about
we talked about that.
Shining. That's definitely worth checking out. You would like this one, Weiner. It's about Anthony Weiner.
Okay.
And like all his scandals and everything.
Why? Because I like Anthony Weiner? Or is that a gay joke? Because I'm really thinking about dropping it over the line on you for that one.
Well, I thought you aligned with him politically.
All right, over the line.
Come on.
Which makes you one fucking away from a TNT punishment challenge.
You got soft, man.
Hey, it's ammo that I've been genetically gifted with.
All right, so it is a good documentary. That's not just like a joke. It's because he's actually involved in it. Like he's involved, and like while it's going on, like
I've seen this. Yeah, it's it's just following his complete downfall, and like it's like him like, watching the news when they're like, Anthony Weiner like sex and kid with his wife, and he's just like sitting there like, I can't believe this. I'm like, dude, why are you filming this?
I know. Yeah, you tell them to leave, But my last one is The King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters.
I haven't seen that.
That's probably out of all these, that's the one you need to see the most.
King Kong or
the King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters. So it's a documentary about the high score in Donkey Kong, the original arcade game.
Yeah.
And there's this guy, I can't remember his name. He's like the main. So this one guy is like kind of the bad boy of like video game like high scores. Like he sets all these records, and he was kind of a big deal. And then this guy came out of nowhere and broke his record.
Oh.
And it created a whole controversy because this guy came back and he re-broke the record, but then they were saying that it was faked, and it was this whole Billy Mitchell. That's the guy's name, Billy Mitchell. Just go on YouTube. Whoever's listening, go on YouTube and find a Billy Mitchell compilation. He is
just watch him play Donkey Kong.
No, not even that. He's just like the best bad guy. He's such an arrogant prick.
Okay,
because he thinks he's just like because he's like the high score guy. He just like walks around like cock of the walk. He's got this long like black silky mullet with like a goatee, and he's just I can't even do him justice. You got
this is in the 90s.
Yeah, it was like in the late 90s, early 2000s, kind of.
Okay.
This was all going on, but it was a whole controversy, and he actually, I guess I won't spoil it what happens at the end, whether it gets overturned or not. But it's it's hilarious. Just some of those unintentional.
It's a hilarious premise. Yeah,
some of the best unintentional comedy you'll ever see.
All right, you're giving me a long list.
I'll
You're
put you to work
for the homework because I have to watch the LaBouche one, and then you can give me that one afterwards. And if I have time, if I enjoy LaBouche as much as I enjoyed Lobster, I'll probably take your recommendation and throw that one. Yeah. So mine is Riding Giants. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I have not.
It's a surfing documentary. No, I'm not a surfer. I've only tried it like once or twice, as in I've literally only tried it like getting up on a surfboard once and trying to go down. I just loved surfing though. It's fascinating to me. I watch surfing documentaries all the time, big wave surfing, and it is crazy. Like the lifestyle, you just have to respect it. These people just like will live and die for it, just like for the thrill of surfing.
Yeah.
And these waves are huge, and it's just so cool to see these people just like quit high school, go live on the beach in Hawaii, and like have no money. They literally have to learn how to go like fish and catch their own food just for the thrill of surfing. And it's crazy. And they have like all this footage from the 50s and 60s of them like living on the beach and stuff, and just hearing like the stories from like the generations that go on, but it's always the same waves sort of thing. Like Mavericks and it's Wailea. And it's like, it's such a great everybody I've shown that documentary to ends up like standing up and clapping at the end of it. It's so good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's I've always fashioned myself more of a boogie boarder.
Same.
You know, but yeah,
and I only go straight. People always used to make fun of me because I don't cut. I just like I catch a wave and I just go straight.
Oh, no. You gotta ride it out. You gotta go with the wave, man.
Ride the whitewater all the way shore.
Motion of the ocean, man. You gotta go with it.
You're like a little whitewater wave on your boogie board. You're just like woo, going like 5 miles an hour. Those are the days.
You think I'm cutting? I mean, I don't go anywhere where there's like huge waves. Like I'm in Hawaii catching.
Yeah, because I mean, I grew up on the beach, so like I grew up next to a lot of surfers and boogie boarders and stuff. I just like I never had the gift of doing it. And like for boogie boarding, like like I get made fun of for like you're like I forget what the term was, but it meant like you're a white water rider sort of thing. Like after the wave breaks and you're just riding like the shit that comes after it, and it kind of just pushes you instead of actually catching up with the wave and like going down it and turning. I was like, well, it's more. Have you ever tried it? Because if you do what you're talking about and you actually catch the wave and try to cut, you risk that thing where like it throws you into the ground, which is the worst. Which could happen. Yeah, I mean, it's happened a bunch to you, right? When like you're trying to catch a wave, and then like it kind of just throws you to the ground.
Flips you over. And I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's why you try to avoid it.
Scary. Yeah. So I just like waited for the wave to just break and crash, and then I just get pushed by the whitewater. That's what it was all about. But like looking back, like I had a rash guard and everything, and just looked like an idiot. Those are the days, man. All right, so that's enough for talking flicks. So we're gonna move right into our world famous segment. So Taylor Hicks, please do us the honor. All right. Thank you, T. Hicks. So we got a riddle to start it off today. We took a day off from the riddles on the Saturday show. So we got a new riddle for Tones, who's very good at riddles. I'm going to read the riddle, and then I'm going to start the clock. And I'll have 1 minute to solve the riddle. Let me get my stopwatch out. Excuse me. Okay. Tones, if you eat me, my sender will eat you. What am I?
If you eat me, my sender will eat you.
Yep. And I've started the timer. Good luck.
If you eat me, my like who the person who sends it to you or the thing that sends it to you?
Mm-hmm. If you eat me, my sender will eat you. I always wonder if there's people just like screaming out the answer in these for like while they're listening.
It's an artichoke.
You fool. 33 seconds in.
Fuck. If you eat me, my sender will eat you. Dinosaur eggs.
No.
Can I ask questions? Is it a food?
No. Well, 53 seconds.
Pussy.
No. one.
No.
And the answer is a fish hook. Answer is a fish hook. Eat me, my sender will eat you.
See, I was imagining that I was actually a human and not a fish.
Yeah, but you're usually. I mean, the riddles get like, I don't know. You were on your game before that. I wouldn't have gotten that one, but like I thought that was going to be a tone special where you're just going to come out of nowhere with the answer to that one. But no, it's a fish hook. All right, so we move on to segment number 2, which was It Was All a Dream. So I dreamt last night, Tones.
What happened?
Probably it was a good dream. I had a good one. I wrote down a little bit of it just to remember because it was a whole string of them, but like there was one part. So anyway, let me just jump right into it.
Yeah.
So like I'm at a bar and like Aaron Judge walks in and then we're just talking and we're just like buds, right? Like we just end up being buds like that. We just hit it off. And then like pretty much he got me a spot on the Yankees.
Whoa. Okay.
All right. So the interaction between me and Judge at the bar, that was like a long part of the dream, but that was really all that I remember was like, you know, me ending up being in the next segment. I mean, the next part of the dream, I'm on the Yankees. So we're at a game. I'm in the dugout, not dressed. I'm not dressed for this game. I have an off day. Of course, I'm just like, yeah, I need this off day. My first day as a Yankee. You know, we'll sit this one out. We'll play tomorrow. So Tom Hanks is the coach.
Okay.
And it's like legitimately, I mean, like I didn't see any of their faces except for Judge. Like me and Judge were just like on the bench, like talking to each other, you know, like, what are you seeing out there? And I'm like, yeah, he's throwing fastballs and stuff like that. And then Tom Hanks was like, I guess this is a crossover from A League of Their Own into my own dream because Tom Hanks was just like casually the New York Yankees baseball manager. And he started getting into a fight with the refs. I mean, the blue. You know, about something, and then the dream transitioned into another thing that I can't talk about. got weird. Not with it, just went into a totally different dream. That's just like I can't talk about that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. It was like, you know, like when you're starting to like wake up out of a dream and things are just going, you're going in and out of stuff, and like all of a sudden, like let's just say like I had like a boner, and then like my brain started going into boner mode, and then like I started like just
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did you fuck me?
No. If that happened, I'd tell you.
All right. I actually rather you not tell me.
Yeah. No, there was just there's wieners like all over the place.
All right. We'll leave it at that. That's an interesting dream. I actually had a little one that I remember. It wasn't like worth dedicating a whole segment to it, but I was on spring break with Mr. Krabs and we were judging a wet t-shirt contest, and that's all I remember. that was there. I'll put that out there.
That's fucking crazy. That's a crazy one right there.
The only thing I remember. Mr. Krabs.
I'm on the Yankees doing wet t-shirt competitions with Mr. Krabs.
Yeah. It was like those ones you saw like on MTV back in the day, but like the X-rated ones.
Yeah.
And like Girls Gone Wild kind of shit. We're just sitting there just like with the scorecards, like 7.
Yeah. It's awesome. All right. So that was It Was All a Dream. So now we have a third segment, which is Do You Remember? We haven't had one of these in a while.
We haven't.
Yeah. So we have this from our hashtag Bomb Squad listener who's just, you know, I like to take these. It's from Mackenzie, who didn't appreciate us bashing him about his choice of Gatorade flavor, but he enjoyed the podcast and he came up with a great Do You Remember? So he brought up the story of when I threw a Little League game. Have I ever told you this story?
No, you haven't.
Yeah, I tossed a game as like a 13-year-old.
Why? How much money did you make?
No, so it was after like Little League. It was like I don't know, whatever league comes after it.
Like the summer one?
Oh, yeah, it was a fall
or
ball.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It was fall ball. It was during football season, which is I'll get to that point in a second. So basically, what happened was we had to play a doubleheader on a Saturday, and the Bucks were playing the Patriots the next day. And we found out that if we won both of those games, then we would have a doubleheader on Sunday during football for the championship. And I talked to my mom. I was like, win, lose, or draw here today. I ain't going to that game tomorrow. And she was just like, you're absolutely going. She would not fucking budge. And she was such a bitch about it. Sorry, Mom. But she knew how much I fucking loved the Bucks. But she was like, you committed to something. You can't bail on your teammates. It's like, Ma, I suck. I play left field after the third inning because I have to, you know? And then like me and my buddy Dello, who's also a huge football fan, realized the predicament that we're in, where if we win both of these games, then we had to fucking miss it was crunch time football. It was like November football.
Yeah.
And we were playing the fucking Patriots, man, and we were pretty good. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm missing this game. So anyway, we go into the game, and we, of course, plan one strikeout on purpose because we did a team, like, even though I didn't start after it was only in the field, he batted like everybody in the roster. So I batted like 13th.
Okay.
I batted 9th, but we had a 13-man roster, so I batted 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how bad I was.
It's a tough look.
Yeah, so I just go up there, swing at everything, like, make sure I miss, and then go back to the dugout sort of thing. And then the icing on the cake, that was real bad. So we were in a close game. I think it was the first one, and it was like way closer than, we wanted it to be because we didn't want to toss 2 games in a row. We just had to lose one of them.
Right.
So they had a man on third, and it was, or second and third, something like that. And it was late in the game, and it was tied. And a ball got hit to me in the outfield, and I think there were 2 outs. So all I had to do was just like get the ball, like, it was an easy catch sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And I just misplayed it on purpose, and then it went under my legs, and I literally screamed, "Oops!" Like just to like make it sound like I didn't mean to do it, but like it came off as like a really sarcastic "whoops" sort of thing, like I did it on purpose. And I pretty much got called out for like what the hell was that? And I was like, I just like lost it in the sun, something like that. And then he let it slide, and my buddy went up, struck out on purpose, and I wasn't really paying attention. He was walking back to the dugout. I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "I struck out." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." And the coach was like, "What do you mean, sweet?" I was like, "Oh, nothing." I mean, he knew, like, at that point.
Yeah.
Just like, what is going on?
Little fucking saboteurs,
I think somebody like screamed out, like, he doesn't want to miss the fucking Bucks game tomorrow, so he's throwing the game. Shut up. Coach just looked at like us with this massive face of disappointment. And then, we lost, and we got blown the fuck out by the Patriots. But
it was worth it.
Yeah, haven't missed a game. I will never miss a game for anything. Weddings, college interviews I've missed for them. Baseball games for them. I will never. They're too precious football games. There's only so few that you get in a year, and I need every single second of Bucks football that I can get every year that I have. Yeah.
Well,
so
who plans a college interview for a fucking Sunday?
Yeah, Fairfield University. I think I got in anyway. It was a stupid interview because I had to drive all the way up there, and they were like, I was like, "What time's the interview?" They're like, "Oh, Sunday at 1. Can you do that?" I was like, "No, it's Sunday at 1.
No shot.
No fucking shot." All right. Okay. So that moves us on to our 4th and final segment, which is a Stay Woke. So Tones is going to give us our latest conspiracy theory. We're going to talk through it, and then we're going to figure out if it's hoopla or if it's actually something that might have happened. So what do you got?
All right. So this is called the phantom time hypothesis.
Okay.
Now you're going to have to stick with me a little bit, because this was probably one of the hardest ones for me to follow.
Okay.
Because there was some math involved. But so let me lay it out for you. So up until 1582, we used the Julian calendar, which was made by Julius Caesar, and it's basically the same one that we use today, but it's a little bit off.
Yeah.
Like, how ours is still off today with the leap year, leap day, whatever.
Yeah.
This one is a little bit more off. So in 1582, Pope Gregory the 13th created the Gregorian calendar, which is one we still use today. The only thing is, when he did it, he didn't fully compensate. And this is where it gets kind of hazy to me. But basically, the theory is that when he made that switch, it was a conspiracy to cover up that the Dark Ages never existed. So the years from 600 to 900,
where there's no historical documentation.
Right, exactly. The medieval times, dark ages, whatever. It was like basically that time didn't exist. So we're actually in the year 1721 or something like that.
So like the world like took a time out and like a maintenance break, like sort of thing, and like the years stopped.
Well, no, it didn't stop. Like, what they did was when they made the switch on the calendar, I guess, because back then no one had clocks, no one had calendars. Like, the only people that knew were like priests and scholars and stuff. So they just like fudged the numbers a little bit, because there is a lot of there is a lot of debate over the medieval ages era or whatever, because actually in 1986 there was an archaeological conference that they held to debate the legitimacy of all the documentation from the Middle Ages, because there's a lot of forgeries, there's a lot of stuff missing. Do
you think we had that meeting because Indiana Jones had so much success box office wise?
Maybe. There's like a bunch of people show up with the hats and the whips.
Belongs in a museum.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that. When did Indiana Jones come out? That was like,
I think 1980. I think was Raiders.
Okay, so yeah, maybe they wanted to. I don't know, but it's just an interesting to think about, because back then, I mean, if someone's decided to like change the year, like no one would really know.
Yeah. Well, that's actually very plausible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot. I could try and get into the math, but I would just confuse you and myself.
What's do you have at least the final answer? What year it would be compared? I mean, based on this theory,
it's 297 years, so it'd be 1721.
We'd be in 1721 right now.
Yeah,
that would be weird.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, it doesn't change anything about where we're at.
If that happened, even though we still have the same exact technology available to us, I would still buy a lantern and walk around with it.
Just talking an old timey accent.
Maybe I couldn't afford a horse, but yeah. If I could, like, I would just definitely like ride horseback and like have a lantern.
Sell your car, get a horse.
Who goes there? Just get driving my car and hold the lantern out the side window and turn my lights off on the front of the car. Go my lantern.
I only travel by lantern.
Oh man, that would be hilarious.
I don't know. So what do you think? You think it's hoopla, or you think it's legit?
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy this one. Yeah.
I'm
there's
surprised.
No reason for me to deny it. I mean, I don't think there's any good reason for anybody to deny anything like that. I mean, it's the Dark Ages. There's no historical record of anything from that period, right? There's not like a single artifact or anything.
No, well, so that's where it gets a little dicey, because there are in other parts of the world, like China, India, other, like the Middle East. There's other documents over there, but
there's nobody nobody was like keeping tabs, right, on like the historical updates back in the day,
I mean, the only thing you have in there is like towards the end of that period is when you have like Charlemagne coming about, and like he kind of unified Britain and England and whatever. But that even they were saying that was kind of like an amalgam of like a couple other rulers that they just kind of made up to cover up for years lost. I don't know. It was so confusing. You want to go watch videos on it, you can, but it's like numbers are thrown around. Like they're saying that the Julian calendar was 13 days off, but then the Gregorian calendar added 10 days in, so it was still 3 days off. So somehow that equates to 300 years. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things where like nobody gets it, and like it's really not that important. So like let's just like call it a year right now, and then we'll move forward. And that's what got us 2018. But if you really sat down and like used his thing, I mean, I'd buy it. If it was 1728 right now, I'd be like, okay, it's my lantern.
Hold my lantern. Hold on. I do some math.
Hold this. Get my feather out with ink, a cup of ink. I would totally buy into that. That'd be a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna hit a quick commercial break. We're right back with your classic 4-pack of questions. All right. Welcome back. And now we got our classic 4-pack of questions. All right. Thank you, Kane. All right. Question number 1, Tones. What double standard pisses you off the most?
The fact that like good-looking guys can do basically whenever they want, like when talking to girls, and it's like okay because like they're good-looking. I mean, it's changing a little bit now, but it's like if a good-looking guy came up and used some like corny ass like pickup line, they'd be like, that's cute, that's funny. But if like I use it, it's like before they even like they just be like, no, I have a boyfriend. Like, I was just asking about the color of your eyes. I wasn't, no, I don't know. Something, but it's just like they get away with so much more. And it's like, I have to, I got this face.
That happens in the gay community too all the time. You can be,
sure. It's just
if you're a great looking guy, you could just be like, I think Seabiscuit's the best movie of all time. I have actually a true story about that. This guy well, you know what? Actually, it's the opposite. He was a very good looking guy. But he said his favorite movie was Sister Act, and I was like, I'm out. I said, are you serious? Is Sister Act really your favorite movie? And he's just like, yeah, why? I was like, all right, I can't. No way. No way this will ever work.
Really? Sister Act's a no go for you?
to be your favorite movie of all time? I don't even think it was. I think it was Sister Act 2. I think it was not even the original. I think like it was the second one too. Like, it's like I love Sister Act 2 because then that means you're really into theater. And if you like theater, get the fuck out of my face. Theater is garbage.
Theater's the worst. Theater's the worst. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Sister Act 2 is not like it's an okay movie. You sit down, you watch it, you have a little fun, whatever, but have it be your favorite movie.
Hey, I mean, like, well, I haven't done the thing yet where we actually try to go out and meet people in the gay community. I think we've talked about it. I haven't actually pursued going to a bar and like have that happen. So it's all online with your pictures and like my bio said like I love Metallica in there, obviously.
Yeah.
And then all the people who fellow gay people love Metallica are gross, disgusting humanoids. And they're just like, oh, I love Metallica too. What's your favorite album? I was like, Master Puppets, and block them. Here, gross. And then like immediately, like, oh, I love Master Puppets. Then like 7 dick pics come from them. And they're like, oh God, it's like, fuck. But I mean, like, it would be if it was face to face, probably be a little bit different. But like, I don't know. I think we talked about it too. Porn's done wonders on my brain where I'm like, I need to have like acceptable standards on the porn terms. I'm not a personality guy. I'm looks over personality first when it comes to the bedroom. I wish it wasn't that way, but it's,
Yeah. I mean, a good sense of humor doesn't give you a good blowjob necessarily.
It does. BJs are easy to get. It's just the whole.
No, I'm saying like, if you have a good sense of humor, doesn't mean you give good. Like you think that's why you go with looks over personality.
100%.
So what's your bugaboo or pet peeve or whatever?
My bugaboo is that still today, that like if you're getting a divorce, like if you have a penis, like you are just a severe underdog right off the bat before hearing anything in the case. Isn't that bullshit? Like the mom could be doing meth on the side. Like was it Casino or Goodfellas with Sharon Stone when she's
that was Casino.
Yeah, it's Casino.
Yeah,
she's like a drug addict, but she wins custody. It's still kind of like that, unless if she shows up like a complete mess.
Yeah, I think it's gotten a little bit better, but it's even like the whole alimony thing. Like the guys always have to pay alimony, all this shit. It's just the kind of like that old antiquated notion of like the men have to provide. That's not the same anymore. It's not like that anymore. Like women can provide too.
And the women are crying out about that too. They're saying like it's not the same. Like, we want to be like, the wage gap and all that stuff. They want to be paid equally. But then all of a sudden, when it comes to divorce settlement, it's just like, no, like I want all the kids. I want half of your money that you're going to make for the rest of your fucking life. The house is the first thing that comes in my fucking head. Like, I'm getting the house first.
I want all the dogs.
And I'm not sure if you looked into like the details of the tax bill that Trump passed like early this year, but he put a tax on alimony that's like, it's like quadruples if you're a guy.
Wow.
So like if you got divorced like recently, like it's not cheap. It's very, very, very expensive.
You think he would be, the other way on that because he's had a couple different wives.
No, he probably doesn't give a shit, but like Pence and like the really hardcore Catholic Republicans, they just don't want divorce. Divorce is like, just unholy. It's just, I'm like, grow up.
I mean, that's real healthy to keep people in a relationship because of money reasons. Like, I can't afford to divorce you.
Like we're against divorce. Okay. It's just not in the Bible, but if you do, it's fine. We're just going to tax the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And then, if you don't get divorced, I'll tell you what, you see those tax dollars come back to you as a person who's not married.
Yeah.
It's nice. But so it's, I don't know. We'll see. Just, don't get married if you're, not sure if it's going to work out for the, like, I don't get how people, I don't get it at all. The whole thing. I can see how you could fall in love, get married, and then, it grows old on you and stuff like that. But if you have a feeling early on that like you kind of want to be single for a little bit longer, take advantage. Like, do not get married then because it's going to suck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I know. It's like one of those things where it's like, well, I do kind of want to be single for a little longer, but this person's really cool. Like,
it goes back to the lobster.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Yeah. It's like, no, it's that time. I gotta find somebody, gotta get married now. And then we have kids and then miserable for the rest of my life sort of thing. All right. So moving from there. All right. Question number 2, Tones. What do you think is the greatest invention of all time?
The ability to stream movies.
Ooh, I like that.
Because back in the day, I mean, if you wanted to watch a movie, you had to drive to Blockbuster, you had to go go in, pick out which one you wanted. You had to pay for it. You had to drive all the way back. You had to probably rewind it because the person didn't rewind it that handed in last. and you get to watch it. You got it for 2 days, and you got to bring it back.
Yeah,
it's now you just sit here. No, Blockbuster was awesome back in the day. It was like now when you don't have to leave your couch and you can literally watch anything.
Yeah,
like you go to Blockbuster, if like that one movie that just came out you want to see, like they're just out of stock. Like everyone wants to see it, so it's not there. Like here, I just pay $4. I get to watch it for like a week.
It is great.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, even though I do miss Blockbuster, that's probably a humongous point. Streaming anything is massive. It's what an invention. I wrote down a couple things. First thing I wrote down, like right when I saw the question, I put pizza down. Okay, pizza's great.
Yeah, pizza is great.
I think we can all agree that pizza was just an awesome invention.
If you don't like pizza, I don't want to know you.
Why don't you get the hell out of my country? If you like
yeah,
get out of the world.
Go eat some kebabs.
I know a kid who loves pizza more than anything, but he hates cheese. He takes the cheese off.
That's bizarre.
Isn't that fucked up? But he loves pizza. It's his favorite food.
You're not eating pizza. You're just eating bread with tomato sauce.
I used to just take the cheese from him and just be like, oh.
You're gonna eat your cheese.
You can eat your fat. So I had pizza, and then I have the electric guitar. Okay, because without the electric guitar, I'd be nowhere in this life. Not that I play it, but
you just be lost without the music.
I worship the electric guitar. Okay, so that's got to be number one for me. But for universal purposes, pizza, pizza or hot dogs, sort of thing, or maybe beer too. All right. So to question number 3, Tones. What is something small that somebody can do that just makes you instantly hate their guts? Like first interaction, you kind of notice something. You're like, I hate this guy.
Whenever somebody is rude to the help, whether you're at a restaurant, you're waiting in line somewhere, or whatever, if they're just rude to the person that's like just there to do their job, and they're just rude for no reason. Like I get maybe if like the person's a bad waiter and they're a dick to you first, and then the food never comes. Right, exactly.
It's like, hey, pal.
Then it's okay to speak up. If you're just like a dick, like I said, no ice cubes in my water.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you think this is? Like, no, you don't, because those people will be nice to your face, but then they're really just a shitty person deep down.
Yeah,
like they always say, like if you want to judge someone's character, see how they treat the help. So it's
and that's like a universal answer too. And I still fucking see like. There's somebody I was working with, like it happened a couple of years ago. Like they were a big restaurant, like sender backer sort of thing. So like he gets the pizza and he says like it's a little bit cold, and he's like it's actually fine. So he eats the whole thing and he's like it was cold. I was like, well, you ate the whole fucking thing, so who gives a shit? Yeah. Like what are you gonna do? Like it was cold. Like when they get back, and he's like I think I should tell him. I was like, you don't have to tell him. Like we're not gonna be back here. We're traveling. Like we're in a state that we're probably not gonna be back in a long time. And then he was like. Right when the waiter got back, he's like, how was everything? Oh, the pizza was cold. It's like, you fucking idiot. You ate the whole thing. What do you want him to do? Like, go back and provide the chef feedback that the pizza was a little bit cold? Yeah. Like, no, they're not going to give a shit. They're in like rush hour right now.
You know what happens if someone goes back and tells the chef that? He goes, tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like he's gonna be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
What do you get out of that?
yeah. That's.
I'm so like anti, like to the point where like they could bring me the entire wrong dish, and I'll just be like, thank you.
That's happened before.
I'll just eat it in shame, like because I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, that happened one time. I think it was like my dad's birthday or something. We went to some restaurant and I wanted the veal shank. I was on the specials, right? But I got like the veal something else. I didn't specify which veal special I wanted, and they brought it out. I just looked at it. I looked at my dad ordered the special. The other one I wanted, I was just like, didn't you want the veal shank? I was like, no, it's fine.
No, this works. This is fine. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It was good. It's good. Don't worry. It was good. It wasn't as good as his though.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple times where they bring me like something completely wrong. There's only one time I sent it back, and it was at the Flapjack Diner in St. Joe's, the place that only lasted for like half of a year.
I don't even remember that.
I ordered scrambled eggs and bacon. They brought me 3 sunny side up eggs and no bacon. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? How do you mess up eggs and bacon?
Yeah, that's like that should be your staple. That should be like That's
the first time I'm here. The first impression I get is I'll take 2 eggs scrambled and a side of bacon. She comes back with 2 eggs sunny side up and 0 bacon. I was like, look at this plate. Does this look right to you? Just a couple of sunny side up. Say that place went out of business very fast. And then one time I ordered chocolate chip pancakes from them, and they came back with just chocolate pancakes, not chocolate chip. Totally different.
Damn it!
I didn't send those back. I ate those. I was like, these are terrible. Damn it. All right. So question number. No, I didn't answer it. Well, I guess I kind of agree with you, like wholeheartedly with it. So I didn't really want to say mine. I'll say mine anyway. Don't take this wrong way because you're gonna think it's you, but it's not.
Okay.
People in general do this. White dudes with flat brim hats to the side who come up to me and greet me like, "Yo, what's good?" Immediately, I hate you. Like, I mean, first of all, how the fuck am I supposed to answer that question? What's good? Not much. I mean, that's not an answer. That's not a suitable answer for a question like that. How the fuck are you supposed to answer what's good?
Thing is like, what's up? Or like, how you doing? Like,
say what's up? How are you? What's good? Like, fucking, what the fuck are you asking me? Like, what? Well, I'll give you a list. I mean, like, work's going good.
Pizza's good. Pizza's good. We like pizza.
Like pizza. I don't get the question. All right. And you like immediately just like put my mind into it. I'll never forget the first time somebody like that was in high school. Somebody's like, "Yo, Evie, what's good?" I was like, a lot. Like, I really didn't know how to answer the question. Literally, and I did that for a while after because I thought it was correct.
Yeah. It's a lot that's good.
Things are good at home. I think meatloaf is for dinner tonight. I'll keep you posted.
If that's the case, that's in fact good.
But just like, those kids, like you're not one of them. That's why I didn't want you to take it the wrong way. Because I know, like, a lot of people say what's good now, which is fine. But like the original like horde of people who used to do that, who like they have like the really long shorts, the basketball shoes, and the hat tipped to the side, and they're as white as anything. And they're like, "Yo, what's good?" Oh my god, who the fuck's this guy? Who invited him? Man, yeah. That's it. That's
just
right. Instant hatred.
Wiggers, just wiggers.
Yep, wiggers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're fairly obnoxious.
They are indeed. All right.
I don't like how you have to specify before. Like, I'm not talking about you.
No, because I know a lot of people from New York are like that, but they don't do it the way that I'm specifying it. Sort of, the Guineas are different, because like they just, it's just like they got grandfathered in.
we're kind of like the black people of white people.
Yeah, exactly. Beastie Boys, you guys got grandfathered in, and then everybody after that is just a try-hard like loser, and I'm not gonna like you, sort of thing. So, we're doing a podcast. We've been friends for like 8 years, so it's like Yeah. So you aren't one of them, but there were a few people in college that were like that, and I'm like, oh my god, who the fuck is this guy?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And he really didn't do anything wrong. So that's pretty much the origin of like, right when I met him, I was just like, I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you too." And like behind my eyes was just like, "Oh, I hate you so much."
I'm just gonna start greeting you as "What's good" now. Just
"Yo, what's good?" Good. Well, let's see. All right. So moving to question number 4, we'll wrap up the show and send you into your Tuesday on a Friday, something like that. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore with the dates here.
Some hypothesis going on.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be 1728, might be fucking Thursday. I don't know. All right. So question number 4. Assuming no repercussions, which celebrity do you want to just fucking punch in the face?
Well,
just deliver a haymaker.
Yeah, no, I want to punch that guy Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. Fuck that guy.
That's a great one.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that show. He's the worst. They're the worst.
And it's not homophobic, folks. We're a homosexual friendly podcast.
Yeah, no, it's nothing to do with that. It's just like his character is the worst, and his character isn't even gay. It's just like he's just such a nerd. I just want to stuff him in a locker.
Such a fucking nerd.
He's such a nerd.
He's always got a snarky answer for something with like math. Like, it's just like, "Sheldon, like, why didn't you like go to the restaurant with us? Have you ever heard of algebra?" It's like, oh god, how do people watch this goddamn fucking show?
People just tell me I'm not smart enough to get that show. I was like, no, fuck you. You're not smart enough to get that show.
Are you kidding me? No. Smart enough to see how stupid it is. Yeah, so that's a good one. I was thinking about this because there were a lot, but I didn't want to get any over the lines because most of them are women. So I didn't know how you feel about that. Like, I want to punch Lena Dunham in the face pretty bad, but
yeah, that's yeah. Fuck.
Does she count as a woman? What does she identify as? An it?
Yeah, they, them.
She's fucking
us. She's
the worst.
Us.
She tells everybody her business, and like, I don't know. I ended up winding down on Jaden Smith. I just went to this list of 100 most hated celebrities and kind of like ran through them. Jaden Smith was there, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy hasn't done shit, and like he's this big philosophizer. Okay, he's like legit like identifies as a philosopher. And I'm like, dude, you are so rich, and you put out the Karate Kid that nobody saw. And what else? Like, you haven't done anything. You don't have any means to be a philosopher. You're just like a little kid with an ego that got ballooned up by the age of 13. And then you think you know everything, and you want to make sure that you tell everybody about it on Twitter. That deserves a fucking knuckle sandwich right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Will Smith, but that whole family just freaks me out. They're all like this the whole fact that they named, because like his name is Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, and the kids are Willow and Jaden.
Yeah,
like it's just like a weird kind of flip flop. And then just like it's just a weird, like the way he dresses and everything he does, he's just like kind of one of these.
He needs to get punched in the face.
Yeah, he gives off the vibe of one of these like philosophizers, but he's also like kind of gender neutral in a sense. It's just weird, and like I know I'm not supposed to like.
Nah, it's fine.
Be like, I don't even want to call it homophobic because it's not.
No, it's on the LGBTQ. I gave you an over the line before for the wieners joke, but no, this is totally. This is why we have a host of the show. We can talk about things like this.
It just confuses me, to be honest. Like I don't know if I've been on this rant on here. I've been on this rant many a times, but like if you want to be identified as one thing or the other, that's fine. But like we have to have a more set guide of rules. Like at one point, I was. That they had how many different genders were listed on Tinder? Like 27 different genders.
No, yeah.
Like this is ridiculous.
People are psychos.
Yeah, like pansexual, like I don't even know. There's so many of them. It's just like I'm fine with everyone being what they want to be, but it's like I don't think we can condense it a little bit more.
I think it's a whole bunch of people who cannot get laid at all, so they're just trying to like come up with new shit where they can find new people who also can't get laid and like, identify as a, hippopotamus, some gender. That's how you get it. Because I mean, if you notice the people who come up with these days, they're pretty butch. Yeah. Okay, not to be blunt, but but anyway, yeah, go to the bathroom wherever you want. Jesus Christ, give a rat's ass.
This devolved quickly from punching Jaden Smith to.
I already knocked his ass out 2 minutes ago. Now we're talking about gender issues. I guess let's get the fuck out of the show. All right, Tones, you got any post show thoughts?
No, it's first Thursday show on a Monday.
Yeah.
And then this is me airing on a Friday or a Thursday. I don't know.
We might even air it tomorrow. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who knows? This whole
and we'll do a Tuesday show on
is fucking with me.
Fine. Believe it or not, I think the Bomb Squad listeners actually follow the chaos when it comes to like they understand like the day of the show. Like Thursday show, it means flicks, talking flicks. Yeah. Tuesday baseball, like talk. Okay, I got it. Like Saturday's only segments. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Let's get out of here. All right, so everybody enjoy your week. I guess Tones, have fun at work tomorrow, and we will talk to you at some fucking point this week too. So have a good one, guys.